The climate change madness and renewable energy zealotry is out of control in this country, and those people who get in the way, well, it seems nobody cares about them. In a moment, I'll show you a protest that everyone in this country should know about, but they don't. You'll be the only ones to see much of it. Why is this so? Well, because reality doesn't seem to matter when it comes to climate and energy. Reality is denied by the activists, by green left politicians and by governments, state and federal, and sadly by most of the media. Instead, they all go with the narrative, the zeitgeist, climate alarmism and renewables crusades. And they don't care how often they get it wrong. I mean, just ask yourself how often you heard hysterical warnings, including from the Weather Bureau, about the hot, dry spring and summer we were about to encounter. Then look around the country today and ask yourselves how these people can show their faces in public. Wrong again, as we battle heavy rains and floods from Adelaide to Sydney and right across southeast Australia. The other thing they consistently get wrong is their insistence that renewable energy is cheaper, that it can be reliable, and that this country can do what no other country has ever done and switch to renewables plus storage as the electricity model. It can't be done, it won't be done, but our governments are sending us broke trying. Listen to the delusional minister in federal parliament today.
Yes, renewables are critical for driving down emissions. Yes, they're critical for driving down bills. But often overlooked is the fact that this transformation needs to happen for reliability as much as anything else.
What absolute nonsense. And as we've told you repeatedly, crossing to numerous projects across this great country, renewable energy and transmission projects are tearing communities apart as farmers, fishers, tourism operators and regional communities fight projects that will ruin their environments, blight their landscapes, damage their livelihoods and desecrate their farmlands. Well, while Bowen was talking gibberish in Canberra and getting ready to fly to Dubai for the World Climate Talk Fest, with a team of 48 from Australia, 48 flying to Dubai, can you believe that? They're obviously not concerned about their carbon footprint. Anyway, while all this is going on, many concerned regional and rural people gathered in Sydney today to bring their message to the media and the politicians. Their protest against renewable projects was passionate and persuasive, but most of the country won't hear about it. I went along and I noticed a couple of things were missing. Tell us where you've come from and what your issue is.
We've come from Wollongong and we're opposing the wind farms off the coast of the Illawarra.
And why are you opposing them?
Because it's a risk to all the marine ecosystem. Financially, it's just crazy to be spending so much taxpayer dollars on something that doesn't work.
You're not a fan of Chris Bowen's?
I'm not a fan. I think he's so misled, misguided, and the fact he is so contemptuous of a discussion about nuclear. I find it absolutely disgusting what he's doing. And I don't think people in the city realise the devastation that's happening in the countryside, and the grief it's causing to these people. And the other thing, it will do nothing for the climate. Absolutely nothing. Why aren't we going nuclear or put up fuel-efficient power stations?
Now look around at this protest. There's a number of people here. Do you think these are people who normally get out on the streets and protest?
No, for many of us, I've had to leave work to come here. I've got to race back and work later tonight. And I had to come down from Tamworth. And many other people, it's not easy to get away. You can't leave your farm, you can't leave your animals. This is really... These are people who don't normally protest.
Yeah, well, that's what demonstrates their commitment and their passion on this.
Oh, I think everyone here has such a shared passion, but there's so many more at home that weren't able to come. But they're all devastated. I don't think people realise the devastation when they're coming to absolutely destroy a place that you love.
No Barossa wind farm, so you're protesting from South Australia?
Oh, absolutely. We've had a gutful of wind farms in South Australia, and now they're trying to They're trying to put a wind farm 220 metres tall on the escarpment of the Barossa Valley, and it's just going to completely ruin it for the tourism. But worse than that, there's a lot of critically endangered grassland and lizards there.
But the Barossa Valley, these beautiful historic vineyards, they're going to have a wind farm over the top of that?
Hanging over the top of them. So it's just disgusting.
So have you come all the way from South Australia for this protest?
I absolutely have. I want to get the message out there.
You're no spring chicken, sir. This is your first protest. Why?
Well, we live in Newcastle. We come from a very, very strong Labor area, but it's flushed us out of our cupboard with this lunacy of Bowen's windmills and solar panels. It's just lunacy.
Upsetting, and all our bloody beautiful red-tailed cockies. We're losing all our birds.
We are just a group of local residents from all walks of life, and we have no political affiliation with any party and no hidden agenda. All we want is the best for our community and environment.
Don't it always seem to go that you don't know what they'll take till it's gone? It's our paradise and every big power lines.
We are currently trying to stop transmission towers which are trying to be put up through regional Victoria. We're on productive farmland, and this is something that it's bigger than money, or it's bigger than that. This is people's homes, this is people's livelihoods, their generational farms. It means more than just money. So no amount of money is going to get these people to sign on over. We don't want it there at all. So we've written this song to give a platform for our community, to get them heard, to say we aren't happy with this. This is our paradise, and they're putting up big power lines. We don't want them there. It's already paradise without them.
Do you see it as a city-country divide?
I think the biggest problem is there's a lot of city people that aren't aware of the extent that it's going to ruin the countryside. You know, like I know you got the inner city that wouldn't care. You know, that's obvious. You know. But I think there are a lot of people in the city that do care. But, as I said, a lot of them just aren't aware of the situation we're facing.
Now, we all know that there have been lots of public protests in Australia in recent weeks that have got a lot of attention. Here in the middle of Sydney CBD in Martin Place, there are 300 or 400 people protesting, but there are a couple of things missing. First up, no one is gluing themselves to the street, no one's hanging from the bridge, no one's trying to obstruct other Australians going about their business, so it's polite and sensible. But the other thing that seems to be missing is mainstream media. Where is the media attention? I just don't see it here.
Where are all the school children? Why aren't they here today? Why aren't the school teachers letting them out today?
And where's all the mainstream media?
Well, I've looked around. I can't see them here. Only Sky. That's the only ones I can see. Maybe they're not interested. But Australia should be interested. We're being murdered by this lunatic Bowen.
And it's a big protest here, but no one's blocking the traffic or sticking themselves to the road. What's going on?
We ran out of glue.
Great sense of humour there from that bloke from Wollongong. But the trouble is the media and the politicians will ignore them. This is a disgrace. The climate extremists get maximum coverage, as do the anti-Israel bullies, but these people are ignored. I've looked at the media across the afternoon. I think all the television stations ignore this. You've only heard about it on Sky News. Once again, Robert Menzies called them the forgotten people, the people who do all the work, pay the taxes, make the country what it is, yet they get ignored. But Labor better watch out, because one thing the forgotten people have that can't be ignored is their vote.